Gina, the game developer from Georgia. Gina, are you still playing on your computer? Yes, Mom. I will be done in 5 minutes. Dinner is ready, dear. Coming, Mom. After 10 minutes, Gina's mom comes over to find her still playing on her computer. Do you like this game, dear? Yes, Mom. I run around in this virtual world, build stuff, chat with others, and destroy things. It is a lot of fun, Mom. Do you learn anything from this game? Playing a game is not about learning, Mom. I go to school to learn. Isn't that enough? I just want to spend time chatting with others and play around. Sure, dear. How about we talk a bit more about that after dinner? The game can wait, but the food will get cold. I'll call your dad. The family ate dinner together. After dinner, Gina and her mom sat together to talk about computer games. Are there games that you wish existed other than the ones you are playing now, dear? Yeah, Mom. I wish there was a game about nature and animals, but different from what I play with sometimes. Some games are fun and others are boring. What would you like to see in a game, dear? I'd really like to see a game that looks like nature in the real world, Mom. And I'd really love it if it teaches me about the different animals that live there and how to take care of them and how they interact with each other and with nature. You don't take care of wild animals, dear, but you can learn what they like to eat, and the game can offer that food for them. Yes, Mom, that is what I meant. I watch wild nature programs on TV and the internet too. However, they usually talk about 1 or 2 animals, not many at the same time. I think that is because they want to focus attention on one thing at a time. A computer game can go beyond that. So, what else do you have in mind, dear? Animals live in different environments, Mom. Some live in trees, like birds, others live on the ground, like most of the animals, and others live underground or in the water. I read many books about animals and nature, and it will be a lot of fun if I can learn more about that in a game.
Ok, dear.
How about a game where an animal is inside a box, and you don't know what's in the box? The box has information about the animal inside, like what it eats, where it usually lives, its features, like if it has wings, or scales, or fur, or hair, its weight and height, and other information about it. The game covers all the Earth's environments, and the player needs to know which is the right environment for that animal. So, if the box talks about an animal that usually lives in a cold environment, likes to eat seals, and has white fur, is about 8 feet tall when standing up, we are almost certain it is a polar bear. Before the box opens and we see a polar bear coming out, we must put the box in the right environment. If we put it in the North Pole, where it lives, it will survive and multiply, but if we put the box in the wrong environment, the animal will die, and no points are won. I love this game, Mom. How did you think about all that? I am a game developer, dear. I work with a creative team, and we bounce ideas about different games all the time. We need to work on many things before this game can become a reality. Is there a lot of work needed to make a computer game, Mom? Yes, dear, a lot. And many people and different companies are involved. The most important step is the idea. If we have an idea, we can pitch it to a production company. They will work with a design team that will write down all the game details, like the characters, in this case animals, and the players, the environments, and everything that will make the game work. That is a lot of work, Mom. There is more, dear. If the idea is accepted, a prototype is created. It is a small scale of the game to see if it is interesting. An idea might sound great on paper. However, we need to make sure it is interesting if we play it. And if it is interesting when we play it, is it ready, Mom? Not yet, dear. More things need to happen. So, if the game is interesting and engaging, we move to production. Artists will create the animal characters that will be included in the game. Animal sounds need to be added to each character. Different levels could be added, so when a player gets a certain number of points, they move to a higher level. The game might be multiplayer, so there is competition between players. After all that is done, we ask programmers to write code for the game. If the game will work on computers, mobile devices, and special devices, then we might need to write the game in different computer languages. If we plan for the game to be played by people from different cultures, then we need to have it translated to different languages, like Spanish, Korean, and German. I cannot believe so much work goes into making a game, Mom. I just play my games without thinking about all of this. Is the game done after programming, Mom? Not yet, dear. Is there still more work? Yes, dear. We need to make sure the game works properly and doesn't have bugs. How do bugs go into games, Mom? It's not like the mosquitoes or flies you don't like, dear. I am talking about computer bugs or glitches. So, if we put a lion in the North Pole, it should not be able to survive because it's cold over there and lions cannot swim in the cold water to catch food, like polar bears do. So we do a lot of game testing to make sure everything is working as expected. Is the game ready after that, Mom? Not yet, dear. As much as game testers try hard to play the game and find errors or problems, if the game is too big like this one, they will miss things. So, games go through versions like Alpha, Beta, and sometimes Beta 2 and 3. These versions could be released to a limited number of actual gamer audiences, like your classmates in school, who will play the game and tell the developers of any errors they find. After fixing all the possible errors, the game is ready for release and sale. Finally. That sounded like it took forever. It does, dear. Some games take years to develop. Although the game is released and is on sale, the game goes through constant fixing and updates because players always find some errors, or some players might request new features. Also, devices and computers become faster and cheaper, so the game needs to be updated a lot. This is called the maintenance phase of the game, dear. Gina learned a lot about game development and how games are created. She was tired from the long day and went to sleep. That night, Gina had a dream. In the morning, she woke her mom up to tell her about the dream. Mom, I had a dream last night. Good morning, dear. You sound excited. What was your dream about? It was about the game we talked about yesterday. The game was ready and I played it. It was a lot of fun, Mom. I reached level 10, the master level, and learned about all the animals in the game. I made sure to put the lions in the savannah region, with the zebras, giraffes, and rhinos. The gorillas live in the rainforest in Africa and penguins live in the South Pole and even in South Africa. I learned about the Siberian tiger and the mammoth that used to live in the same area. When can I play this game, Mom? Let me talk to my team. We might be able to create a game that is fun and educational at the same time, dear. Glad you liked the idea. I hope you become a successful game developer one day. I hope so too. Mom, can't wait.